Hey everybody, how y'all are? I'm doing pretty good, and as you can see, we transformed the workshop into the fishing shop. And I wanted to talk about this little hack or fix that I got for the Berkley portable line spooling station. This particular style is available a couple different ways, or different companies, different names, however you want to call it. And it's a really great system. I use it for spooling all of my braided lines on both bait casters and spinning reels. If I can get it in and hooked into the mount, I will do it on here. And one of the reasons why is I can get these things nice and tight and get the line laid down very tightly on the reel, and that cuts down on virtually almost all of my line cutting into the reel. Probably about 99% of it. What happens is after a while, of course, the line will, the wrap will loosen up. Usually the first few layers, sometimes a little bit deeper. When it gets to the point that it's bad enough and it's becoming a problem, I'll get an empty spool, which I've got them laying around here, and I'll wrap the braid off of the line or off of the reel, back onto the spool, put it on here, and then re-spool it under very, very tight tension. I have found that this is the best way to do this. It's actually better than the old trailer ball technique or the tree technique. If you fish braid and you know what's going on, you know what that technique is, especially when it's raining outside. Anyway, one of the problems and I don't have an original one. I looked around to see if I did, but I don't. It's been so long. One of the problems with running them tight is that the original assembly here is made out of plastic, and eventually they get roughened up on the inside here, and they'll snap. I have had to replace, and you can't get the replacement part. So I have had to actually spend, I think they're like $39 now. I paid, when I bought this one, it was like in its 20s. They're like, you got to spend the $30 or whatever it is to get the whole unit. Well, I got a real cheap fix. I got this one from one of those Chinese places that you can order stuff online, that they ship direct from China or whatever. But I have seen the exact same thing in some of the roadside tackle locations that you find in some of the like a gas station or something like that sells bait and stuff. Yeah, I've seen them there. And the thing you have to look for is, this particular one is a suction cup. They have some that have clamps and stuff like that on them. But the thing you look for is, of course, you got the rod and everything. This thing you don't worry about. But you want to check and see, they will have an aluminum cone. They have the spring, and they have an aluminum collar. The set screw that goes into the collar isn't all that special. So what I did was I took the set screw, the brass set screw that was out in the original pieces, and used it instead, so it's just easier to use. I added a 1/4 inch washer. So what happens is here's the way it's set up. You have the aluminum collar, the spring, the washer, and then the cone. Now the reason why you want to do that, I don't know how well you can see that, but the spring will start to dig into the aluminum when you're putting it on a lot of pressure. Whereas when you have it like this, it protects the aluminum from being damaged, and it actually works like a brake would. So that all fixes a couple of problems. One, it fixes the wear and damage and breakage that happens in here with the original plastic ones. The other thing is that this particular cone shape, I guess you want to say, is bigger. I wish I had the original to show you. And so it allows me to fit into a lot of the different sizes of holes that you find on different spools. I've got spools around and I can't find them to show you. I'm sorry, but I've got some that are square, and they fit in there perfect. And it centers the spool up a lot better. Then you turn around and you just take it, you know, and everybody that's used one of these before, or one like it, you know, you take it, you put it in. And of course I've got lines spreading around everywhere. And you assemble it. That, the washer, the spring, the collar. Now, I can actually put some doggone awful hard pressure on this. As you can, I guess as you can see, as the springs are moving around. But when you're working it, there's no slippage or binding. It pulls even, very nicely, under a very, very heavy tension. This works fantastic, like I said, for laying down very tight braided lines, and of course you lighten it up and that, and it works great for bait casters. This configuration, however, doesn't do very well for spinning gear when you're talking about monos and fluorocarbons. So, that's the next little hack that I'm going to show you. There's a lot of different things that you can get and you can buy, but I bet everybody owns a broken fishing rod. I kept this one. I put my spinning reel seat on it. I run my line through here. I drop the line in a bucket. Usually a bucket with hot water, so this way it'll lay down easier and I don't get the twist. And I just spool it in under tension. You know, some lighter tension. You don't need it as heavy a tension on monoline or fluorocarbons or any of that you do on you don't need to use as much tension on monolines, you know, fluorocarbon, that kind of stuff, as you do on braid. So you can use one of these guys, a little hand work, and the thing is, if it's in a bucket of warm water, it's lubricated enough that you can pinch and hold that all day long, and it doesn't bother you. So anyway, the total cost of this guy here, this replacement thing, was less than $10. I think when I did it over mail order, it was, I think they were like $4 or something like that. They were like dirt cheap. And the washers are what, a penny? So let's say it's inflation, because I've had this for a while already. Let's throw in inflation and all that kind of stuff, and the whole repair kit costs you $15. That's half the price of one of these, and you're going to quadruple the life expectancy. If something would happen and I would have to buy another one of these, I wouldn't even take it out of the package until I bought another kit, another one of these, and set up my kits here. And the little plastic guys, I'd have tossed them, because it's that much of an improvement. It works that much better. It's just a fantastic setup. Anyway, I hope you found this entertaining and interesting. And stay tuned, subscribe, and stay tuned, because I'm about ready to throw out a whole bunch of more things of interesting information.